making the customer trust generator work for you. So if you look at this image, you can see that at the center it's valued at 0% and the outer parts at 100%. This indicates the level of trust generated. At 0% there is no trust at all, and at 100% there is full trust. This is divided into two parts: the actual physical benefits and the actual psychological benefits. If you'd asked the right questions and had ascertained from the client that the product or service would benefit them, you could complete the actual physical benefit up to 100%. If you'd asked correctly, the client will have answered for you and they would have had a high level of belief in this. If the client believed 100% that the product or service would benefit them, the actual psychological benefit quadrant could also be completed to 100%. If they, the client, can see that this product will help them, their mental picture of the product, service or services benefits will match their actual benefits. Now the lower quadrant relates to the perceived elements, or how the customer sees and feels about the product or service. The perceived physical benefits are how the customer thinks logically that the product will physically benefit them. So if the customer doesn't own a car, they will see no physical benefit of buying petrol. However, if the customer owns a car and it doesn't have any petrol in it, with a journey planned, the customer will see really easily that there is a clear physical benefit in buying petrol. As a salesperson, you have many tools to help the customer do this. Here is where the questioning skills that we deal with in this training course come into great use. A basic example could be like this. Do you have a car? Yes. Great. Are you planning on going on any journeys in the near future? Yes, I'm going to visit the family tomorrow. Okay. How much petrol will you need to get to see them tomorrow? Okay, I will need half a tank. Okay, half a tank. Can I ask how much petrol you have at the moment? Oh, I've got about a quarter of a tank. All right, how much extra will you need to get there and back, do you think? Probably a full tank actually. Okay, so would you like me to fill up your car for you? Yes, please. Obviously, this conversation doesn't happen when we actually buy petrol. However, the questioning process is worth remembering as it's the key to becoming great at selling. So you can see how the questions above have helped the customer realise how much petrol they need and help them decide to fill up then and there. The customer now perceives that filling up with petrol will give them a physical benefit. At this point, the customer's perceived physical benefit level would rate at 100%. The last quadrant is perceived psychological benefit, and it is where any seller should start the sales process. It is how the customer feels on an emotional level that the product or service will provide them with the benefit. This is where the sizzle is sold. An example of this would be the new shoes. Have a look at this example of helping the customer make the right buying decision. Do you have any functions or events coming up that you're attending? Yes. Fantastic. What sort of event is it? My daughter's wedding. Congratulations. When is your daughter getting married? Thanks. She's getting married in the summer. Oh, that's lovely. Have you chosen a dress? Yes, I've just bought it. That's fantastic. Have you bought the shoes yet? No, not yet. Okay. What effect do you want the shoes to have? I want them to dazzle everyone. Okay, that's dazzling. So what sort of shoe would dazzle your guests? Well, I'd like the following. There's no doubt that if the shop carries an appropriate shoe in the right size, the customer is more than likely to be buying a pair if you've used those sort of questions in this example. Simple questions to help the customer identify a product that will satisfy all four sections. The actual physical benefit of the product or service, the actual psychological benefit to the customer's peace of mind or happiness of buying or having that product or service, the perceived physical benefit of what the product or service will do for the customer, and the perceived psychological benefit of how having this will improve the customer's life. And the questions that you should ask will help this process. Asking the right questions mean you get the right answers. So when you think of the questions you should be asking, you've got to think about how you could ask questions that will help this process. So ask yourself this before you even start. What is the actual physical benefit of my product or service for the customer? How will their life be improved or helped with this product or service? What does the customer currently think about my product or service and its suitability for their needs? How can you help the customer understand and believe that your product or service is suitable? Every question should help the customer so that their perception of your offering's actual physical and psychological attributes matches their requirements. Because if they believe your product does the job for them, they will be very likely to purchase. So the next stage in the training is to look at how we communicate with our customers.